I've made it a mission to get as many Black and people of color into swimming.
News, we are highlighting Black voices in the community. That was Joya Harris. She's the coach of Manual High School's first swim team in decades. The team took their first lap this season thanks to a push from her and the community.
Joya is joining us in studio here today. We appreciate you for being here. First of all, you were just talking about how this has been a labor of love to even get this swimming program. Yes. Tell us a little bit about your background and your love for swimming.
Yeah, well, I learned how to swim very young at the rec center. My sister was a lifeguard, and then ultimately just hanging out with friends in the pool. So I never took formal swim lessons. It just wasn't a priority, but it was like just hanging out at the rec center. So we would swim all day. And then my freshman year, I went to Manual High School, and I was excited to join the swim team because I had done many years in rec league. But when I got there, we had to swim with East High School, which was just normal. Anytime the team is smaller, they kind of pair them with another team. But I just didn't feel welcomed, so I decided to not swim in high school, and instead I just continued to do rec league and teach and lifeguard and things like that. And that's where I think the love of teaching and coaching came in, and so I've been doing that since I was 15.
Wow. You also transformed that, somewhat negative experience into a positive one. Years, decades later, like, kudos to you. Why do you think it's so important for Manual to have a swim team?
Because the community needs it. I mean, really, essentially the community is mostly at Manual High School is Black and people of color. And to be honest, there's this narrative that, like, Black folks don't swim. And for me, I'm like, we need to change that narrative and gain control over the stories that we tell. And getting access to that pool for many years, other teams would come and swim and compete in that pool. And Manual students would be sitting right there in the hallways and just didn't have an opportunity, I think. So what I'm doing right now is just creating that opportunity for the students that go there and the neighboring schools that don't have a pool, and giving them a chance to reclaim a relationship with water.
Because, we just did a story recently, a neighborhood that's trying to bring their pool back and restore it because it's been gone for, a decade plus. So when you talk about the stigma, that is real. That's not a stereotype, and it comes down to the access to pools in our areas. So do you have like a technique or a way to work with kids who maybe haven't had access to a pool, and maybe there is some fear there about the water or drowning or I can't swim? Like, how do you get them comfortable with even beginning?
I think you have to see them and validate them in whatever capacity they come to you in. So what I've learned is most of these students have some knowledge of swimming. They could get in, they can play, they can do things. So now it's just my job to be able to meet them where they're at and give them the skills and the tools that they need to keep going.
And you speak of the skills and the tools, but I can just imagine what more this gives each swimmer. So what do you hope your swimmers get out of this?
One, I think a connection with themselves. I think we have to overcome a lot, and so I've been able to, with this first season, taking these girls from learning how to swim to becoming competitors in swimming, like at the same time. There were some challenges, emotional challenges, just believing in themselves and trusting themselves that they're supposed to be where they're at, and I think I reminded them that this is not the first or the last time you're going to have this feeling. So, like, let's get practice. So we practice overcoming those moments where we don't feel like we're confident enough to do something. We show up and we give it, and that just gives us another opportunity to beat our personal best.
Sounds like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, inspiring these kiddos. Joya, thank you so much.
Thank you.